Hello, and welcome to the Three Peaks Podcast, where we take a break from the hike of life and appreciate the view. Today, we have a very special guest, Rachel Jones. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. So we're gonna hand it on over to you, so you could tell our audience about what do you do for a career and what are some of your hobbies.
Okay. So I love to share health and wellness with others, and I like to help them to see that it's a possibility to have natural healing and health. From years of me doing it myself as a mother, taking care of my children, I was very empowered by learning about natural health and wellness. And so I wanted to make sure that other people felt empowered as well as mothers. And so I found a product using essential oils. And now I get to help empower other mothers and families and any walks of life that are needing support in their health and wellness needs. And I've been doing that. I've been living the health and wellness lifestyle since I was pretty much my whole life, but I consciously chose it about 18. And then had many years of learning about working at health food stores and learning about nutrition and things. And then eventually finding a specific product using doTERRA essential oils. And I've been doing that for almost 14 years now. And so it's been a really beautiful process, and I'm super blessed to be a part of such an amazing company and that have changed millions of lives. And some of the things that I love to do is really just live in nature. I love to explore nature. I love to, just get out in the sunshine when there's sun. Even if there's not, I love to, do things in the snow as well. And I just really live an active lifestyle, and I love to bring my family out and also engage them in healthy activities as well, outdoors.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you mentioned that you had a business about essential oils. Could you tell us a little more about that, or what was your journey to do that?
Yeah, like I said, I started at a young age, and I started to just kind of question my health and make sure I was going on the right path. My dad had diabetes. I found out when I was about 19 years old, and it kind of scared me. And I started to feel like I don't want to go down that path. I lived a really unhealthy lifestyle to what I guess I look at now, just unconsciously eating sugar unconsciously. And I just saw myself living that same experience that my dad, having been diagnosed, it kind of scared me. And I had and then I got married and then got pregnant. And the first thing I thought was I'm going to give my children what they need to be healthy, and I'm just going to learn. So I got a job at a health food store and started working there when I was 21 years old, and learned to be a wellness consultant, and learned about herbs and just good nutrition and things like that. And then I started using essential oils back then, and I decided to have my babies at home. So my first baby I decided to have at home, and I was also a massage therapist. And so I kind of got into that world a little bit, being a massage therapist, as well as working at the health food store, working with the body and just active sports type people. And then I started using essential oils then. and would diffuse them, but I didn't really know the power of essential oils then. I just knew that they smelled good and they worked on the body, like making muscle feel good or whatever.
Mhm.
And I used them for about 13 years, another product, another company. And then, and it was good and fine. But then when I found doTERRA, like it literally just shifted my whole life by just smelling the first oil, which was peppermint.
Mhm.
And I just was like, wow, like what was the oils I was using before?
Yeah.
If that was essential oils, what is this?
Mhm.
And so then I had just started homeschooling my kids. I had 3 kids at that point, had all of them naturally at home, using, natural stuff. And then I just decided, like, when I got my oils, that I was going to take everything out of my cabinets that wasn't exactly pure or whatever. And I thought, well, this is the best way to learn it. So I took everything out of my medicine cabinet and
Mhm.
I just used everything with essential oils. Anytime my kids had a bump or scrape or bee sting or sickness or anything, I went to the oils and I found that I could take care of them naturally. And so I basically raised them without any antibiotics and anything that was going to have toxic, had anything toxic or artificial.
Mhm.
And so everything was from nature that I used with them. And I mean, my youngest is 17 and my oldest is 28 right now with her own kids, having her babies at home and using essential oils. And so,
Mhm.
I've been able to teach that lifestyle, but I really found the power with essential oils with just my family and then sharing it with other people and seeing how they changed their lives. And so then I kind of um, started a class called the Medicine Cabinet Makeover because that's what I did. And
Mhm.
I wanted to have everybody else. And I really wanted to empower millions of lives. And since then, the class is still being used. It's called the Natural Solutions class now. And doTERRA uses it for their class as an educational tool to help people understand about how to replace over-the-counter medication and prescription medications for natural solutions that we have in doTERRA. So that's what I really feel passionate about, and it's been a beautiful journey to be able to see how many lives have been changed since then. So, and now doTERRA itself, when I got started or less than 14 years ago, has like, I don't know, 7, 8 million people
Mhm.
enrolled in it. So it's
Amazing.
grown really well. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And with essential oils, I know a little bit about them, but I don't really know what they do or the benefits of them. So my question
Mhm.
to you is, what are the benefits that people can have when they use essential oils?
Well, I mean, there's hundreds of oils out there. And so it really depends on which one you're talking about and specific needs that you have. So pretty much like we have a book, we have some educational tools that you can use that you can like we have apps and books. So let's just say if there's like some sort of like you're feeling under the weather and your throat's getting scratchy, I have an essential oil that can help with soothing your throat,
Right.
right? And it's going to go in and the body and it's going to like because our bodies are so smart and the oils are from the earth and our bodies are from the earth,
Yeah.
so they just work really well together synergistically and it recognizes it as medicine and
Yeah.
natural medicine, right? And so it's going to do what it needs to be able to um like attack the the virus or bacteria that's in your body
Mhm.
and enough where it doesn't come back, right? So just the same thing as an antibiotic or anything like that, you're able to really help heal the body but in a natural way.
Yeah.
And so if you have a headache or muscle tension or anything like that, it's just going
Yeah.
to, you can apply it to the body and then all of a sudden you're like working out or doing something in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, like, I'll be like, my headache's gone, like,
Yeah.
because basically it helped the blood flow and the capillaries and everything open up because of the peppermint that I put on my neck. It's going to help the blood flow get to the brain faster, so you don't have that headache.
Yeah.
Scientifically, I'm not really good at all of that, but I I just know what oils to put on because I've done it for so long. But there are books and educational tools out there to teach you and educate you a little bit more. But I mean, from, you know, a baby rash to, a stomach ache, anything that our bodies have as ailments or needs, the essential oils, there's usually an oil for that. That's kind of a slang that we use, is there's an oil for that. So yeah, so you'll find something, and you, like anything, need to be consistent. And so it's a beautiful process working with the earth. And that's what doTERRA means, is the gift of the earth. So
And with essential oils being, well, from nature, and they've been helping your body, do you feel like there's a powerful sense of connection between nature and ourselves?
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this earth was created for us. And when we use the plants and different resources on this earth, it feeds us, and it's been created for our use. And there's a definite godly connection to that. um, you know, or you can say the universe, source, whatever it is, but it's definitely connecting us to our godly being that's within us. Having nature and our bodies, recognizing that there's a synergy that happens. And I don't know if you've ever been hiking in nature, and all of a sudden you're just like feeling this overwhelming presence of beauty and grace and humility, and you're just like, wow, the power. And then this plant can like actually help me to take care of myself. Like, there's gifts all over the earth to be able to help us to connect in with ourselves. It helps us to be more present, helps us to have more gratitude, and where we get to spend more time in those spaces, I feel like we have better mental health and a lot less anxiety, because we're not on our phones and we're not doing things to distract us from really feeling and really connecting in with our spirit, which is basically just trying to help us to remember who we are. So I think the oils help in that as well, and just being in nature itself does that for me. So
Yeah, and I believe on your website it mentioned that you're not like about living without a dream. And I was just wondering what you meant by that.
well, just always having something to look forward to. um I feel like if we don't dream, we don't have some, like, we're just kind of dead, right? And having something to look forward to create, not in the sense of being not present, but having something that you're looking towards going, like there's a direction. You're not just like mindlessly, like, you know going here or there, like. So yeah, don't live without a dream. Live with purpose, live intentionally, have an intention to be able to better your life, and better your love, and better your connection to your source, and better your connection to yourself. And having goals and dreams to move you forward, um, in that direction, so you can basically live a more full, happy life. Because you want to look back and be proud, and know that things that we do are always going to be used as a tool for learning. um, and or we can choose to not learn from them too, and keep on doing things that are going to, can hurt us. And so it's just being aware of things that are going to help us or hurt us. But the the thing is like we get to always get another chance to try again. And so it's never impossible to, keep going after that dream. Like we may not reach it, the first time, and actually failing is good because it helps us to, get stronger and keep moving towards that goal and that dream. So
going back a little bit to one of my questions with nature and like a connection to our body is, have you been able to find like moments of peace while walking through nature? Because every single person has the opportunity to go on a hike or on a nice bike ride through the mountains and forests, but there's always this sense of quiet peace that you can find. Have you been able to find that in your journeys through nature?
every time. Every time, if I am seeking it, and even sometimes I'm not, and I'm like, holy crap, it just hits me right in the face. Right, you're just like, I needed this. Like, I love to hike. It's one of my very favorite things to do, and I haven't been able to do as much because it's been kind of crappy weather lately, but I go up even if it's snowy or whatever, just to have that serenity, peaceful feeling. Like, one of my favorite things to do is to skate ski. It's a type of skiing, and you go on a course, and it's like more like flat, and it's kind of like rollerblading with long skis on, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
And I go up, and there's no leaves on the tree, any of the trees. And so when you're up there, there's a specific spot I love to just look over, and I just am looking over the mountains, and it's just so grand. And there's just this moment, and I could literally drop a pin and nothing. I mean, you could literally hear the pin drop because it's just so peaceful. And that's where I get to really go inside, and I get to talk with my source and ask questions. It's like it's really good because I have a really busy mind. And so I do those things to help me to calm and feel that peace and sense of connection with the earth and with heaven and with myself. And I think they're all interconnected. So I do it very often because I love to have that sense. I think the cement and the, everything, music and internet and everything kind of like clouds us, and we forget that this is our reality, but we're creating something that's actually keeping us away from that connection. And so the more often that we can take time to be present within ourselves, the more power I know I feel for myself, and within myself, and the more creative that I can be, because I get more ideas when I take time to stop and to listen. So
Yeah.
And with finding that peace, we can also find it in meditation. And I wanted to ask you, what is the importance of meditation, and how has it been able to help you?
I haven't been really good at meditation until the last couple of years, because like I said, my mind is really busy. So I've kind of like, my meditation, it's not like when you think of meditation, it has to be this specific way, right? It can be running, it could be walking, it could be hiking. Like we need to, like, I thought it had to be just sitting and, like going like this, like that's what I thought that it was only, right? But just like I was explaining to you, like that was meditation, me skiing. That's meditation when I was hiking, right? And then now I have a specific room that I call my meditation room, but I also have a yoga swing, and I have music, and I dance, and I feel and flow in my body where I feel connected to myself. And then sometimes I'll read books, and I'll ask myself questions, and I'll sit and I'll breathe into that question and think about it and ponder it. And so it doesn't look the same every single time. Sometimes I use my breath, because our breath is what connects us the fastest to ourselves, and it helps us to slow down, because that is our power. I mean, the breath is power. Without breath, we wouldn't be alive. And so having gratitude and taking time to really deep breathe, it's good for digestion, good for mental health, good for a clear mind. And then you can direct your thoughts into specific areas that have pain. So the power of mind and body and spirit, connecting all those together and learning to be present so your thoughts aren't going out, right? That's been a really powerful practice that I've had, because I thought I couldn't meditate, but I really was, by doing all those things too. So I realized that, there's so many different tools out there to be able to use for meditation.
Yeah.
So
And another question I wanted to ask is, with being able to have a sense of peace with meditation, hiking, and just doing great activities for your body, and I just wanted to ask, what is the importance of good mental health? Because if you ask a lot of young people, they would say that they're sad and they're depressed and a bunch of stuff. And sometimes they don't mean that, but sometimes it is the case. So what would you say the importance of mental health is?
I mean, I think a lot of times that, like, these kids nowadays are being raised in an environment that's not natural to their actual, like, their heritage, like, we just in these last, like, probably 100 years have kind of started to go away, betray our natural selves and go into more technology, and our minds get so caught up in and all these things, and you're like, you looking at other people's lives and you're like, oh, I want that and I want this, and you can't ever just be present with yourself and being okay and love yourself, because you're looking at loving everybody else's lives. And or you're just not connecting with your truth, and so you're just like doing things that are just what everybody else is doing. I should follow this and I should just follow that, because that's what everybody else is doing and all the teenagers doing, and if I don't do it, then I'm not cool, and all those things. And so I think that's one of the biggest things with mental health, is that everybody wants something that they're not getting. And so just like looking at our reality and being like, is this the reality I want? Do I like this reality? And if I don't like it, am I willing to change it? Am I willing to do the hard work it takes to stand up and be that teenager that's not going to follow the flow, and be the leader that people can follow to do something that's going to be great. And they may not see it like that, because there's a lot of people who are scared to step out and be different. Right. But if you do, you may be alone, but you have to follow your truth, because you will have the best mental health if you don't value other people's opinions over your own self-worth and your own opinion about yourself. And so learning to love yourself, learning to accept yourself for who you are and not looking outside of you, and realizing that everybody's mirrors. And so if you see something within somebody else and you want that, like, then look inside yourself, like, wait, like, I do have this, or I can do something about it. If I don't have that, then I want to improve that. Like, spending more time with people who are going to inspire you, spending more time with books that are going to elevate your mind. Like, those are the things that are going to help your mental health. And a video game, I'm sorry, isn't going to do it. Like, being mindless isn't going to do it. It's going to eventually destroy your thinking. And so then it's going to be a lot harder for you to come back to reality, because a lot of people don't want to live in reality, because sometimes reality sucks. And so, like, what is it that we need to do to change our realities? So,
yeah. All right. So for our final question on the podcast, it's usually known as the big question. Are you ready?
oh, okay.
All right. So our big question to you is, what advice would you give to people that are in the younger generation?
I mean, I guess kind of similar to what I just said is like learning to be okay with standing out and standing up for your of what you feel is right,
Mhm.
and don't be a follower, like just be somebody to follow, and do the things that it takes to be inspiring for yourself. Don't worry about if people are going to follow you. Don't worry if people think of you as a specific way.
Yeah.
If you think of you as a specific way, that's where you want to get, because that's loving yourself enough to not really worry about what other people think. And if we can have that and still have community and still have connection with people and create that synergy and that beauty, and create a space for people to be able to thrive in that. And I think that you'll have a way healthier and way happier life, and you'll be free from judgments, and you'll be free from anything that's going to hold you back to living your best self. So, and your best life. So that's it.
Well, we just want to say thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
meeting us and being
Yeah.
able to answer some of our questions.
So great to meet you guys. You're great kids. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. You guys got a great podcast, and good
Thanks.
for you to be doing something to really stand out and make a difference for people.
Yeah. All right.
So
That's all we have for you guys on the Three Peaks podcast, and we'll see you guys on the trail next time.